What's up, guys? Joe at Momentum Works. Today we're going to be talking about the emergency roadside turbo kit. What the is a roadside turbo kit? Stay tuned. All right, so picture this. You're cruising across I-80 at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden, boom, your turbo goes out. You're on the side of the road. You got a load that's got to be delivered, and your turbo is cooked. What are you going to do? Are you going to wait for a tow, pay all that money, and wait around? Or use an emergency roadside turbo kit? Now, what makes this different than just having any other turbo in your bunk? Well, if you had any other turbo in your bunk, say you're a big horsepower guy or something, you could have a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 turbo. What we did was we built out a whole kit that's going to fit on a slew of applications, and this whole thing costs less than $1,000. Let's jump into the components in this kit, how it works together, and how it might save your ass. All right, let's start over on my left, your right. These are intake rubber reducers. And what this means is here's your intake on the turbo. This is a 5-inch air cleaner inlet. So depending on what truck you have, you might not have a 5-inch. So say you've got 5.5-inch piping. You would use this rubber reducer. You'd stick this on here. You'd fight it like you're in the WWE. Because I don't have man hands like all you tough guys. Boom, now it's a 5.5-inch inlet. Or say that you've got a cat and you need a 6-inch inlet. You'd use this. Boom, now it's a 6-inch inlet. Your air cleaner is going to fit perfectly. Now, on the back side of the turbo, so now we've got an exhaust flange. Now say that this flange might be different than yours. Boom, we've got this flared 5-inch adapter that's going to mount up right here on this turbo and the clamp to hold it to the turbo. So now you can run this to 5-inch pipe with a band clamp or connect it up to your existing downpipe. Or if you're broke down on the side of the road, at that point, who gives a shit? Just put this on it and run it an open downpipe so you can get off the highway at the very least. Next thing we want to talk about, the compressor outlet. So basically, going towards your charge air cooler, if you've got a Detroit or a Cummins, you've already got this flange. But say you've got a cat, you've got the double O-ring style, so you're going to need an elbow. Bam, we give you an elbow. We give you the clamp. We give you the O-ring, so that you've got everything you need to mate up with your 4-inch charge air cooler pipe found on pretty much every commercial truck. After that, all your gaskets. So your oil drain gasket, your oil feed gasket, your T6 gasket going between the manifold and the turbo. That's all included. What about the bolts? Hold your oil line on. These are all M8 bolts because this is an S400 bearing housing. So this is all new bolts to make sure that your oil lines are going to match up. This turbo, and I'll throw up a picture here to show you, this has a 1/4-inch NPT fitting and also a 2-bolt flange so that you can use multiple different oil lines on this turbo to mate up. Then the drain is a regular 2-bolt drain, and we're going to give you some silicone hose and 2 clamps. So if your oil drain line is too short, like my wiener, you can cut it and extend it. Last part of the kit, and essentially the most important, the turbo. We're giving you a turbo with this kit for under $1,000. This is one of our S400, S475 turbos, cast 75mm wheel, 96mm turbine. Normally we would use this on like a 500 horsepower truck, but if you're broke down on the side of the road, any turbo will do. Guys, you don't need to hot rod at home. This will get on there, make enough boost to get you down the road and get you home. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you are saying, why the hell would I want a spare turbo? Well, like I said, right now we're selling this kit for $990. So unless old Camel Toe gets elected and the prices go through the roof, I'm going to keep selling these for $990, which is going to be cheaper than a loaded tow off of any highway in the country that we all live in. So say you're a big horsepower guy, you're running, a GTX or G-Series or an S500. You might not be able to get one of those turbos wherever you're at. So by having a kit like this on hand, while an S400 is clearly not enough power for your application, having all of these connections for exhaust and downpipe and everything, you'll be able to get that truck off the road. And whether you actually make the delivery or you just limp the truck home, for $990, this is peace of mind that you'll be able to get going and you won't be stuck somewhere for days waiting on parts and paying for a tow and everything like that. This is a small bit of insurance that you can have in the cab of your truck that if you have a turbo go out in the middle of the night, you'll be covered. One of the things I think that's really cool about this kit is it's really universal. And by that, I mean that basically any truck that runs a T6 turbo or has a T6 manifold, you'll be able to run this kit because we include all different kinds of accessories needed to hook it up on your truck. So if you've got a Detroit, whether it be a D-Deck 4 or converted 5 or 6, you could run this. Whether you've got a Caterpillar 3406C, E, even an early C15 or a converted from double turbo or compound, or as you guys like to say, twins, driving me nuts, to a single turbo, you could run this kit. You got a converted ISX or a PACCAR, you could use this kit. Any truck using a T6 manifold, you'll be able to retrofit this turbo onto it to get going. So, it's one of those things. You could buy this turbo, and maybe you help out one of your buddies, maybe you help out one of yourselves. But for the cheap ass price that we're doing this for, it just is a no-brainer to have an extra turbo under the bunk. And if you're a guy that can afford to have a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 performance turbo under your bunk, good for you. That's really the way to do it. But we're doing this on the cheap. I think this is a good option for a lot of guys. And if you want one, check out our website. Give us a call. Don't stop by. Guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.